I am really glad that my boss was here and he articulated his vision for Sri Lanka. Didn't look at a piece of paper, but looked at you and said what he wishes for this country and what he wishes you would do jointly with our next government to create that Sri Lanka that we all deserve. John Kennedy said that the problems of the world cannot be solved by skeptics and cynics whose horizons are limited by obvious realities. He said, you need men, and I add women, who can dream of things that never were and ask why not. And I think we have come there. We have to look at Sri Lanka anew. A new Sri Lanka where kids of age 19 are not loitering at junctions looking for three-wheelers, passengers on the three-wheelers, or just hanging around doing drugs. You all work in the private sector, make good money, don't perhaps interact with the typical low-income person in the city or in the village. But the problems are enormous. You may not necessarily realize it. What we have to do is to have a structural shift in the growth path of this country. We thought we were growing at 7.5%, 8%. We know we are growing now at only around 4.5%. What do? Indrajit Kumaraswamy wrote a nice piece once recently and said, we're in a middle-income trap. We can't compete with Bangladesh, and we can't compete with Malaysia. So what do? And I totally agree with Razin, where he mentioned that we must look at having trade more than 100% of GDP. I want to go beyond that. I want to say we want to have exports more than 100% of GDP. And what that means is not doubling exports, but actually doing better than that. If you look at countries like Singapore, as in where you work, I think exports to GDP is something like 250%. And Hong Kong is about 350%. So that necessarily means that imports are almost as equally high. And you add value, you have a logistics space. And if you look at countries like that, and also take perhaps Dubai, you take out the port and take out the airport, what do you have? Nothing really. And we have those advantages. How do we build on it? I differ slightly from Racin's pure free market thinking, and that is why we brought in this social market concept. But here we are very, very precise. We are saying we want to create a knowledge-based, highly competitive social market economy, and the Prime Minister kept referring to it. And that is where we are going to prioritize next 5 years, put more money in education. That's why he's talking about creating a whole lot of colleges of technology, where kids can have the opportunity to become architects, draftsmen, people who can work at home, and IT-enabled services, accountants, etc. So it is all about making the dreams of young people a reality. As a politician, more than purely an economist or an academic, I now see a different side to this story. And that side of the story is equally compelling and important, that we address ourselves to helping the young people of this country to realize their dreams. So to realize their dreams, you have to think anew at this point in time. Just to close on this social market economy, I'm not going to distribute this here because it won't be the right thing to do. But I have, with the help of many, some of whom are here in this audience, written up a small document on what the social market economy really means. and how I see what this government, what the next government must do in order to make sure that the government works with you, the private sector, to make that dream of the regular Sri Lankan man, young man and woman a reality. Thank you.